It's Week 18 of the NFL, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Commanders and the Cowboys, next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they come in the midst of a season-crushing losing streak. It's up to 9 games now.
And I don't have a PhD in psychology, but you can see it in their body language. This is not a team that is organized and been ready to play.
Ready to get it started here, Riley Patterson. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Oh, he sheds himself free and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
First down, and they go right back to Davis Price. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Now 2nd and 9. And Lance now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Nico Collins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. When you look at this defense, they're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now a stoppage here for an injured player. Oh, boy, that's Trey Lance, who appears to be worse for the wear. Well, Week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out in a tackle and make sure you knock them back on their butts. That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play for one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On the option, here's Eckler. About 3 yards there to the 27. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Play action, now it's Daniels. He had him there open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Patterson's kick is good, and it's 3-0 Washington. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. The Cowboys offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And you can see finding the end zone hasn't been much of a problem for him. He enters his final week of the season as the NFL's leader in rushing touchdowns. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. You talk about this Washington defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Davis Price on 1st and 10. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurt.
clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Man in motion left. That's Collins. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And he'll go down at the 28. Emmanuel Forbes up from the secondary to make the tackle. The Cowboys at 12-4 now on the year, and they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now. And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl front-runners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go.
Good job, guys.
Excellent work there by Lance as he scrambles for the first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
The Lions game will be huge for the Vikes.
And now they'll throw with Lance.
They win in the end, they lose, they out.
It's Ferguson. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead.
NFC record's too good. We lost all our games in the NFC.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2 as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Here's 2nd and 10. To the air goes Daniels. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Osa Odighizuwa. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Here's Daniels. Incomplete.
Down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs. But still, a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system. But still, a nice spot to be in.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 6. Another touch for Davis Price. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here is 3rd and 5. Here's Lance. They'll set up the screen for Davis Price. Good contain, no gain.
Gotta block the guy, guys. Come on.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
And this is right down the middle as he puts. Yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Commanders' offense returning to the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to...
And here as he's taken down. Osa Odighizuwa. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Here is 3rd and quite a ways. To throw is Daniels. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Ray on to punt the football. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Cowboys will to the 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Drive begins with a carry by Davis Price. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington. And this throw
Go to the ball, guys.
and the defender all over him that time. And
That's
it's
why
going
you didn't drop
to
it.
3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From midfield, here's Lance. And that will be incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder. You think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
In motion right is Brown. Now Daniel's going to give it up on the touch pass. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Let's go.
Davis Price up the middle. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Lance going to throw. He sets to fire deep. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Now Lance. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Now a 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Davis Price will try to pick it up. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. Second and goal from the 1. Davis Price is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try and run for it with Davis Price. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ty Davis Price, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Aubrey now for the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Ty Davis Price. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Robinson up the middle. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Tressway now. As he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Cowboys offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Here's Lance to throw it. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. To throw, it's Lance. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Jamin Davis from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmons. Now the Commanders going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Throwing now is Daniels. Yeah, to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Back to throw again.
Pick him off.
For McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
20 seconds,
Picked
guys.
off by Micah Parsons.
In the field goal
These
range.
guys have got it
Good job.
back at the closing stages of the first half. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Ty Davis-Price and the rest of this offense returning to the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working.
That was not smart. Run it away.
Working well towards 100
Pay
here.
attention.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now a play fake. Lance. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off of play action, here's Lance. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas for the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll start with an NFC East battle and a classic one. New York and Philadelphia. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Khalil Shakir, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin. See what's happening with the Packers. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Keenan Allen, a touchdown reception. In that first half, we were treated to a stellar performance by quarterback Trey Lance. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, everyone back for quarter number 3. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. And what's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Yeah, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on them as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Like, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Well, throw here right sideline falls incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Big hit. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Play action, now it's Lance. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Finding Tolbert here over the middle. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And they're nearly the pick that they needed.
God damn it. I'm going to take my 14 inches. Threw that ball way too late, man. What are you doing?
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did.
Man, you
Curious
stink.
decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It's your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. Some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call. He wants to take care of the ball himself.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Robinson will try to pick it up. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line.
Good job, guys.
The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Patterson's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but a starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Lance sliding out of the pocket. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, let's give some credit to the defense. They did a nice job there as they flushed him to his right, but he is able to buy some time, extend the play, and turned it into a short gain.
Throwing now is Lance. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he will have the Cowboys 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
95 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Davis Price once more. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. That last run going to put him over 100 yards for the ball game. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Lance now to throw. Pass complete to Tolbert on the crossing route. And the Cowboys are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he's unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Lance. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting through.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Washington offense heading out. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big check now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run. All right? It was kind of stacked out, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
To the air goes Daniels. Dancing to his left. Good coverage downfield. Led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Come on, guys. We're switching late again.
What they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll run with Robinson. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Up up the middle with Eckler. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Daniels. And it's caught. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. Patterson's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Ty Davis-Price and the rest of this offense returning to the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
That's complete. It's Collins. And he works free. And he'll take this to the other side of the field before going out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed.
Hey, guys.
I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Way to cut it up quick.
Is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world to the challenge.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Here's Lance. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. Stopped short of the 25. The 2nd effort couldn't free him. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and now it's 3rd and 3.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Well, they were in in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't
Yep.
it? Go where the
Stop.
defenders are not.
How can we working around the shop?
Makes a nice catch
Oh.
with the chains.
Oh.
Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Davis-Price. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Davis-Price again. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
They'll try and run. Here's Davis-Price. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some
Take my last
options here
fourth,
on
bro.
4th and inches. This is a long
Say 4th and
drive
inches, but
offensively.
whatever you want to call it.
Just
Taking my
3
4th down.
points.
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it.
Good job, guys.
Ty Davis-Price, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Cowboys are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Aubrey now for the point after. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Ty Davis-Price. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Oh!
Almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw is Daniels. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense.
See what I did there?
He needs better protection, that's for sure. The trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he'll take it on this side of midfield. 31 yards on the punt there. And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Davis Price on 1st and 10. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd down, and again it's Davis Price. And he's going to get this all the way down to Washington's 19-yard line. 100.
Hey man, so the nursing staff is calling me saying you guys are refusing to get them their patient valuables today.
About some fucking money or something like that?
Huh?
About some money, some Longoria guy, right? 2 West?
Yeah.
So Cardenas and Sampson dealt with this situation about the money and stuff like that. Let me call up Sampson.
So what, is the money missing or what?
I don't know. I know they have to deal with it. I think like Saturday?
No, what's today?
What? No. They're talking about that they dealt with it. They dealt with like some money or something like that.
Well, they talking about 2 West said they called down there and you guys said y'all wasn't going to get no valuables out.
I know they called about today about that shit. Yeah.
So is the person already gone or did y'all not go up there?
No. Hector's looking for everything. Let me give Samson a call. See what's up, okay? And where's this freaking money at? Because nobody's not refusing that at all. It's just I need some clarification from Samson because he was the lieutenant that responded on scene with Cardenas about this money. So if we could find it, we'll give it to him. But I think what happened was that they put it over there in the Treasury since it was like a large amount. I think like 14,000 or whatever it was. I don't think they put it over there in the Treasury. I got what's his name going over there. Which is
you said 14,000.
Yeah, about that.
Well, we got a drug dealer came here or something?
Some shit.
All right, let me call them. I'll call you back.
All right, bye.
All right.
5 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat
Now, take the 2-minute warning, guys. Get this game over with.
They can't score.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
2nd and 11 now. Another touch for Davis Price. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick.
Yeah.
You want anything from Walmart?
Get the get me right down for you. I'm going to go ahead and start burning that grill. It can be spray or liquid, don't matter. Just a small one says
You got a picture of it or something?
peanut oil or avocado. Yeah, I'll see if I can find a picture and send it to you. Here. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick. What's called had a picture. He should send it to me.
The spray, right?
Spray or oil, don't matter either or. You're going to Walmart, right?
Yeah.
Third and 9 here. Going for it, here's Davis Price. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Washington offense.
Did pretty good, man. Get rid of Prescott. You rolled, baby. Good job.
I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, in the 4th quarter here, you've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 4th down, here's Daniels. He's going to let it fly. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now played.
Damn, bail out 4 weeks. God damn it.